Hello. Hi, everyone. Happy Thursday. Well, thank you all for joining. So we have a small group for today. Well, let's just wait for others to join. Let's just give them a minute. And well, thank you for joining us on a Thursday. For those of you who don't know me yet, I'm Anne, and I'm part of the customer success team here at Sendible. And Fairness will be joining me in a bit. So she's part of our support team, and she'll be helping me in answering your questions. So just drop your questions later on. Today, we will be talking about Sendible's profile list, and that includes creating a profile list, posting on a profile list, its limitations, what's the best use case for it, and all sorts of things that you can do within the profile list. Okay, so we will answer your questions in the second half of the webinar, but do allow me to present today's topic for the first half of the session. Now, some things to be mindful of. Notice that we have our chat box there, and Fairness is saying hi. So on the lower right corner, there's a chat box. That's where you can interact with each other. You can just simply say hi, pop in there, hi and hello. Hi, Fairness. Hi, everybody. And just beside that, we have the questions tab, and that's where you're going to put all your questions. But please keep your questions relevant to our topic for today, which is the profile list. And if you have any questions outside the profile list, I suggest you contact our support team for that matter. Or if you have, if you're a key account and you have a success manager, then you can email them. We'd be very happy to help. All right. And for those of you who have attended the webinars before, you do know that we love starting this off with an icebreaker. So please post your answers on the right-hand side on the chat box. Okay. Now, for our icebreaker for today. Since it's the holiday season, now, of course, it's the season for giving and receiving. The question is, what's that one gift that you really wanted when you were younger, when you were a kid, that you never got? Okay, so let's just bring back those memories. What have you been really wanting to get? For me, I have Barbie dolls, but I don't have that big Barbie doll house. So we were not well off. So growing up, we used to share toys. We have dolls. We have small Barbie doll houses, but I want that grand and fabulous dollhouse. So you had Barbie. So Fairness is say she had Barbie but never got Ken. Oh my! I got Ken, just one Ken. So my sisters and I were fighting over just one Ken, and we don't even have a car for Ken and Barbie. But you know, so this every time I go to the mall and see a big Barbie dollhouse, so I'm still fancying to probably getting one. But you know, brings back memory. So pop in your answers. I'll just go back to that. Let me just start sharing my screen so we can keep the ball rolling. Okay, here it is. Wait, hold on. Where did I go? Okay, here it is. Oh, it's not sharing. Okay, here you go. All right. So we'll be talking about profile lists. So it's a very great feature wherein you can group different profiles into one list. And then later on, you can compose and post different contents on that list. Now, this is a great feature if you are, maybe a good use case is if you're managing multiple franchise, maybe they have different Facebook pages, and you want to post the exact same content across all those profiles. So that's just one use case. So if you're managing different locations, and especially good for agencies as well. But I'll go through how to create a profile list, how to add profiles in the profile list. I'll give caveats and different tips and tricks along the way as I go through the different steps that you have to go through, okay? Now, first we have to go to profile. So this is an admin account, by the way. Then you have to go to the profile list. And I don't have any profile list at the moment. I'm going to create one by clicking this plus sign here. And then I'll just put the client's name here. because that's going to be a good identifier for me. The client's name is the Purple Swan. I'll just put the profile is as the Purple Swan's Purple Swan profiles. I'll put the color as an identifier. Makes sense if I use purple. Now, consumers will be any members of the team that I want to give access to so that they can also post on this profile list. I'll pick the creative team. Contributors will be anyone who can not just use the profile list to post, but also to manage it, meaning they can add profiles to it and maybe delete profiles from it. So I'm not going to add anyone there. I'll just give a consumer access to the creative team. I'll show you how it looks like in a bit. Now I'll create a list. Then the next step for me is to add the profiles. So I click on add profile here. I'll just pick the profiles associated to this client. I'll add a Facebook, LinkedIn, their Instagram, and also their Twitter account. Now, first caveat, you can only add one Twitter account in every single profile list. The reason is because Twitter is quite strict when it comes to community guidelines. They won't allow you to post exact content. Definitely, it's a no-no if you're going to be showing spammy behavior, right? So when you try to add another Twitter profile, it will be grayed out like this. So it's impossible to add another Twitter account if you already have one. But all other profiles, you can add multiple profiles. And speaking of multiple profiles, technically, you can add a maximum of 50 profiles in one profile list. However, as different platforms are getting stricter day by day, they're getting more complex every single day. And you would agree with me on that. We do not recommend putting all 50 profiles, maximizing that limit into just one profile list. Just imagine you're putting all 50 Facebook pages here in one list because you're managing different locations, different franchises, and you're posting the exact same content at the same time. So good luck to that. More likely you'll be flagged by Facebook because they don't want that type of posting behavior. So our recommendation is to keep it probably at around 10 to 15 profiles, just so you don't have that spammy behavior, and we don't want you to be flagged for spamming, or it could be a bit salesy or more or less just spammy behavior is what you're looking at. Also, aside from distributing or grouping them in smaller numbers, so if you have 50, maybe you group them into 5 different profile lists, and then you staggered the posting. So the first profile list you post, and then the second profile list you post with an interval of 10 minutes. The third profile list you post it after 10 minutes as well. So you schedule it with at least 10 minutes interval. I think that's already a good number. In that way, you can prevent getting flagged by different social media accounts. Okay. Now, with that said, let's try to post. Okay. So the usual way that we do it is you're just going to pick, profiles like Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and Instagram. And this is what we call the smart posting. A smart posting because you have these 4 tabs here. And that's where you can customize it. Now, if you're going to use the profile list, the ability to customize it per profile will not be present. It's non-existent when it comes to the profile list. Okay, I'm going to show you how that works. So this is the profile list indicated by this black circle with 4 circles inside. So those are just the groupings of the profiles. If you pick that, you have 4 profiles within this list, but you cannot customize it. Notice that there are no more tabs here. So you cannot customize. You can just post the exact same copy, exact content, exact image, exact hashtags across all profiles. Okay, that's another caveat. So let me try to post a copy here. Another thing that I want to point out is if you're using a profile list, it won't flag you if you're exceeding the number of characters for Twitter. If you have missing image for Instagram. Let's say in this case, I'm going to post this across all profiles, and that includes Instagram. And as you can see, I have this send now button. I can schedule it even without an image because it won't flag me. That's one thing that you should take note of. If you're combining multiple profiles, different profiles into one profile list, be mindful of the guidelines of each profile. Make sure that whatever you're posting meets the guidelines for each and every single profile. So make sure that the image that you're going to be posting meets the guideline for Instagram, and the number of characters, for example, is not exceeding for Twitter. Those are just examples. Okay. So in this case, I'm going to schedule this on the 29th of December. Notice I won't be flagged even if there's no image for Instagram. I'll schedule it. And when I go to the calendar view, just to show you how it looks like, you see it is scheduled. It didn't flag me. However, only 3 platforms will be posting it. It will try to post it on Instagram, but it will definitely bounce back with an error because it needs an image or a video for Instagram. So one thing to take note of, be careful when posting on a profile list. Be sure that it meets all the guidelines across all profiles. And it's color white here, as you can see. It's different with the colors for individual profiles when you post them. There you go. All right. Other things to note. Let's go back to the profile list. You can also combine, since you cannot customize per profile, we recommend using another feature called custom tags. Custom tags enables you to tag each profile with a specific variable number or variable character. That could be a phone number. Probably that's not a good example. Maybe an email address, a physical address, set of hashtags per profile. And then you get to pull that code and put it into your compose box, and then it pulls it for that specific profile. So it gives the variation. So this is how it looks like. So I'm going to pick the profile list here, and that will be posting on all 4 profiles. So if I say we are on sale, visit us at, and I want to post here the physical address where they should be going. Now, let's just say these 4 profiles are all Facebook pages of different franchises, and they have different addresses. They have different locations. Now, I'm just going to show you an overview, but we have a different webinar for custom tags. So I'm going to leave you guys to watching that custom tag webinar. I'm not going to go through the whole process. But if I go to placeholders, I can pick these codes that I already created before, and I associated their physical address on each of the profiles. I pick the address, I insert the tag, and this code will automatically pull the physical address that I tagged on each and every single profile here. So in this case, let's just say these are all Facebook pages with different franchises. It will pick different email addresses. In that way, it gives you the variation on each of the profiles. So imagine if you're posting for 10, 15 Facebook pages with different physical address or phone number or whatnot, or you're using different hashtags for each, just so you can give a little variation and you don't get flagged by Facebook. This is a great time saver. One thing to note is, though, that this is only available to higher plans. So if you're on Traction or Scale, this is not available. It's only available in expansion and custom plans, but definitely worth the upgrade. Okay, did I miss anything? I don't think so. Oh, I showed you earlier that I've shared a profile to my creative team. And take note, though, that the creative team doesn't have any other profile shared to him. Now, when he composes, he can only see the proposed one profile list that I shared as a consumer. If you go to his social feeds, he can't see anything because it's not shared to him. All right. If you want the creative team to be posting individually on each of the profiles, you have to share the profiles to the creative team. So not just the profile list. Sharing the profile list will only share just the list, and you can't view individual profiles. So how to do that? I might as well go back to the admin account. And there's a way to bulk share it by going to the profile sharing here. Then I'm going to share it to the creative team. I'll just share all the profiles here. Yes. Oh, wait. I don't think I shared it. Hold on. There you go. All right. So when I go to the creative teams dashboard right now, you can now see all the profiles, individual profiles, not just the profile list, because the profiles were also shared to the creative team. And also you can view that from the social feeds here as well. Okay. I think that's it. I'm gonna invite Farinaz over. And let's see. Hi, Savannah. That's okay. So I don't think we have any questions, but Kat is typing. Maybe, well, Fairness has some stuff to share as well, but let's wait for maybe Kat has a question. Okay, Kat, stop typing. So yes, Fairness, it's your time to share some thoughts on profile list.
Perfect, thank you. And hi everybody, I'm Farinaz from the support team. So there are a few tips and tricks that I would like to share with everybody. So the very first one that I'd like to run through is, if we have a look at the profile list, we can see that there is an option for edit list settings. So you can actually set the profile list by color. And so if you're managing a large amount of clients and you'd like to differentiate, it would be best for you to set a color. And so the way that this would work is, if you head over into the calendar view of the dashboard, so I'm going to head over into the calendar view, and you can see that this was a post that I created earlier, which is a post grouped to a profile list. So you can see that the coding basically displays on the actual, the way you can differentiate. With the normal post, they'll be in blue, and this would essentially be in white right there. So if I head back into profiles and profile lists, and I have a look at this one right here, you can see the color. So if I were to change the coloring right here, and just save that color to purple, or pink rather, and head back into the calendar view. So go edit. So essentially with the profile list, you can see the differentiation is with Instagram, it would be in pink, and this would essentially be in white right there. The second trick that I'd like to share with you is, if you are composing to a profile list, and this contains a variety of profiles, which is a mix up of Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, Google My Business. So let me find the one in the list right here. So this is the one that I'm looking for. So the way the compose box works, it's quite intuitive in a sense that when you are attaching an image and uploading an image which exceeds the image guidelines, or rather it's an image that exceeds the maximum image for a specific social profile, if I were to upload that right here, it may take a while. We can see that the compose box is quite intuitive. The validation would essentially pop up. Although it is a profile list, it's still picking up that the media that I have chosen exceeds one or more of the profiles that I'm trying to post to. So that is the warning, and so I'll still have that opportunity to change the image. We can see that the sync now option would also be grayed out, so you know that you'd have to make that change right there. And if you head over, there's more detail. So basically the detail that it's providing is that the media you've selected exceeds the list limit, which is the 5 megabyte maximum. So that's one of the intuitive ways that the compose box picks up when images have exceeded those guidelines right there. Then the second trick, or the third trick, that I'd also like to share with you is, let me close this down for a minute and just open up the compose box once again. So if I'm choosing a list once again, profile list, and that list consists of Instagram or Facebook only, So let me choose Facebook in this regard right here. So if in the event that I would like to tag, so I'm going to tag right here. Because this particular profile only consists of Facebook profiles and it's not a variety of Twitter, LinkedIn, and Instagram, it will automatically pick up the tag as intended, which is the tag that would essentially redirect to Facebook. So if I were to click this right here, we can see that this is the one that will redirect to Facebook right there. And so if we just have a look, okay, so it will say we do not support tagging on this, but essentially it will tag if this is Facebook only. And so if I had to use a different example here, so I'm going to close that down, reopen the compose box. And so this time round, I am going to select the option, which is a profile list, which does not include a variety, but essentially it would only include Instagram. So if I go and tag right here, you can see it's picking up Instagram again, right there. Now, in the event that you are using a mix-up or a variety of profiles, so that is one that includes Google My Business, LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. So let's use that example real quick. Should be this one right here. So that's the mix-up. So if I were to tag right now, we can see that in this regard, it's actually pulling the tags in order of priority. So in this example, it's going to pick up the tag for Instagram very first, and it will then follow in priority per social profile. So if I were to click on this one right here, we can see that that is definitely redirecting to Twitter right there. And so with a mix-up, it would work slightly different. The way it would work if you were to only have your list bundled to profiles specific, which is Instagram, LinkedIn, or Twitter. So that is one thing to remember. Then, while I am currently on a profile list, which includes a variety, again, in this example, because we have a mix-up of profiles added to the list, again, the compose box is intuitive in a sense that it's picking up that I do have Google My Business as part of this list, and so do I have Facebook. So it's still basically giving the feature to actually use the call to action for Google My Business. So you can select one of the options here, which is the book button, the sign up button, the buy button, and you can actually go down the list right there. It's also picking up that Facebook is part of this list, so it is giving the option to publish the post or unpublish it as a dark post. And then we can see that there's a little validation, which is an Instagram validation right there. And essentially, we can also then see that Instagram is part of this list. And so the validation is specifically stating that there's an image or text missing for this profile right here. And you'd have to then essentially add in that information right there. Before I do continue, are there any questions? If there are, please feel free to drop them in the questions tab.
You explained it well. Those are great insights. Thank you. Very, very meaty info. There are no questions, I guess.
There are no questions. Saying that no questions, there is another tip that I'd like to run by everyone. So if you are within the priority inbox, you will notice that this is basically per profile. So you'll not be able to pick up any profile list in this view right here. It's specifically per profile, so it won't be possible for you to pick that information up within the priority inbox right there.
Good to share that. Yep.
Right.
Okay.
And
All
that's it
right.
from me, Anne. Is there anything that you'd like to
I don't
add?
think so. I think we've covered pretty much everything. When I mentioned earlier about the custom tags, we have a different webinar for that one. All you need to do is to go to our help desk, just type custom tags, and you'll find a webinar for that one. And I don't think we have any questions. No one is typing. We still have 5 minutes, but I think let's just give those 5 minutes back to our lovely customers. Well, thank you all.
I think he's typing, and so give
Do you
Captain
have
a
like
moment.
okay?
Okay, so we do have a question.
Do you have like a one-on-one meeting?
Have,
By the way, it's Mike. Oh, yeah, we do have. If you're a key account, you should have a customer success manager or a success specialist like myself. So there will be someone assigned with you so that you can have a one-on-one meeting. If you have any questions, we can guide you through it. If you're on scale plan up, so scale or expansion plan. So yes, you can have a one-on-one meeting. Yes. You're welcome, Mike. Okay. Any other questions from everyone? None? Okay. Well, we're just going to wrap this up. Thank you also to Farinas for helping me on today's webinar. So for next week, we'll be doing our very first quarterly release roundup. And Savannah, who's here, she'll be doing that webinar together with Sean from the support team. Again, that's on Thursday at 12 p.m. Eastern Time. Okay, so if you have any questions or maybe suggestions on what topics to discuss on future webinars, you can shoot us an email at success@sendible.com. All right. Thank you, everyone. See you again next week. Bye.
thank you.